Morning, folks. It's Aoife. I just wanted to touch on last night's program, which I did not watch, of Emma Murphy speaking about a black eye. I don't mean to minimize her experience, but a black eye, for me personally, is nothing. A black eye would not, for me, count as domestic abuse, but that's just my view. I've been through so much of it that I suppose, in a lot of ways, I almost deem myself an expert. I am an expert where it comes to my own situation. I've had my skull fractured. I've had my nose broken, as you'll see in this. If I try and bring my phone up a bit closer to my face. In this light, it's actually rather difficult. I don't know if I turn on this one, whether it makes it any better. But you'll just see here, if I pull my hair back, that I still have a bit of an outline of where my skull was fractured. I've had my finger broken as well, so it's very hard to see now, but it was swelled back in December. You'll see here where the skin is lying over the finger. So if I just do this, now the skin doesn't exactly lie over the other fingers like it does with this one. As you can see, the folded skin there, that is because the finger got broken by my aunt's husband. Sorry folks, I'm just trying to make it more visible for you. It's rather difficult actually bringing it up. So if I do this, you'll see this finger here where the skin is bent over the finger, or maybe if I do it like this, it might be easier for you to see it in comparison to these. So that is the result of a broken finger. Over the years, I've been lifted by my chin, I've been lifted by the back of my head, and banged on with the top of my head on a ceiling. I've also been punched to the back of my head over a long number of years. I've had a security mannequin dressed in a security uniform. So basically it was a shop mannequin that my uncle used at the top of our residential premises. And it was meant as a decoy. So 2 or 3 times during one year, he decided, as some sort of silly prank, to put this mannequin outside my bedroom door with a replica handgun, which was like the old Wild Western cowboy guns, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a pistol. And you know that kind of second when you're coming out of the bedroom to go to the bathroom and you're not expecting to see anything or anyone, you tend to go, and that was the effect it had on me. But it was kind of strange how I remembered it in later years. I also had a lot of names called, such as Bessie Bunter and Two-Ton Tessie. So in the last year and a half, I have piled on weight this time, but my uncle has obviously moved abroad to America, where he's been a reserve Marine. I've also, unfortunately, my own brother in 2005 broke my nose shortly after my abusive ex-husband and I split up, and I went back to college to try and make something of myself. And it went from there to, unfortunately, my brother getting mentally ill, which is not an excuse, by the way, for domestic abuse. Not everyone who gets a breakdown turns out to be vicious or violent. And unfortunately, on one occasion, my brother has actually knocked me into a mild concussion. And more recently, I'm in a refuge as a result of being punched and kicked in the head, face, and chest. So I just want to say that Emma Murphy does not, under any circumstances, understand the full remit of domestic abuse, nor has she experienced homelessness as a result of domestic abuse. She can pretend she's struggling all she wants. She's no more struggling than the man in the moon. She's an ITV4 reporter, or has been, a fitness instructor, a media personality, and she thinks she speaks for the whole world and for the whole of Ireland, for every woman in Ireland that's been through abuse. Emma Murphy, you do not speak for me. I've got my own voice, thank you. And I've got a hell of a lot more years experience, practically, with domestic abuse than you do. Please get off the stage and stop using domestic abuse as a platform to further your fame, okay? It's an insult to those of us who have actually been through many years of abuse. And I don't mean to sound angry, but it needs to be said.